What if one of Hollywood's rising stars managed to pull off something almost impossible? A secret wedding that no one saw coming. Fans of Maya Hawke were stunned when news suddenly broke that the Stranger Things actress had quietly tied the knot with musician Christian Lee Hutson. There were no months of engagement announcements, no dramatic countdown to a celebrity ceremony, and no viral wedding teasers flooding social media. In fact, for many fans, the very first time they heard about the marriage was the exact same day the couple said, "I do." The surprise ceremony reportedly took place on Valentine's Day in New York City, instantly turning what seemed like a private love story into one of the most unexpected celebrity weddings of the year. Even more shocking, the couple had kept their relationship so low-key that many people didn't even realize how serious things had become. But that's where the story gets interesting. Because this wasn't a whirlwind Hollywood romance filled with paparazzi headlines. Instead, it began with something far more unexpected. A quiet friendship that slowly evolved behind the scenes. And the deeper you look into how Maya Hawke and Christian Lee Hutson went from collaborators to newlyweds, the more surprising details start to emerge, including the moment fans first realized their secret relationship might be much more serious than anyone thought. For most celebrities, weddings are months-long spectacles filled with announcements, magazine covers, and carefully planned social media reveals. But when it came to Maya Hawke, the story unfolded in a completely different way. On February 14th, while most people were celebrating Valentine's Day, the Stranger Things star quietly walked down the aisle in New York City and married musician Christian Lee Hutson. There had been no major build-up, no public countdown, and almost no hints that a wedding was even on the horizon. For many fans, the news appeared almost out of nowhere. The ceremony itself was surprisingly intimate, especially for someone with such famous connections. Among the guests were Maya's parents, Hollywood legends Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke, along with several of her co-stars from the hit Netflix series Stranger Things. Actors like Natalia Dyer, Joe Keery, Gaten Matarazzo, Caleb McLaughlin, Sadie Sink, and Finn Wolfhard were reportedly there to witness the big moment. Photos from the event showed Maya wearing an elegant white gown with a flowing veil and a dramatic feathered coat, a look that perfectly matched the romantic Valentine setting. Meanwhile, Christian kept things classic with a black tuxedo and a floral boutonniere. But the most surprising part wasn't the wedding itself. It was how successfully the couple had managed to keep their entire relationship so private for so long. And that secrecy raised an even bigger question among fans. How did a friendship between Maya Hawke and Christian Lee Hutson quietly turn into a love story serious enough to end in marriage without almost anyone noticing? Because the truth is, their relationship didn't start like most Hollywood romances. And the real beginning of their story goes back much further than people think. Long before wedding bells or Valentine's Day headlines, the connection between Maya Hawke and Christian Lee Hutson started in a much quieter way, as a simple friendship. The two first crossed paths through the music world. While many fans know Maya for her role on Stranger Things, she has also been building a serious career as a singer and songwriter. During the process of creating her music, she began collaborating with Christian, a respected indie musician and songwriter, who had already worked with several artists in the alternative music scene. At first, their relationship seemed purely creative. They spent long hours writing, producing, and experimenting with ideas together. But somewhere in the middle of that process, something began to shift. According to Maya's own comments in interviews, their friendship slowly deepened while working on her 2024 album Chaos Angel. Instead of a dramatic Hollywood-style romance, their relationship grew naturally over time, built on conversations, shared creativity, and a deep understanding of each other's lives. In fact, Maya once explained that relationships built from friendship can be the strongest kind. She even joked that she highly recommends dating your friends, because they already know the real version of you, not the public image. And that foundation may explain why their bond felt different from many celebrity relationships. But there was one unusual detail that made their romance even more fascinating. Even as their connection grew stronger behind the scenes, almost no one outside their inner circle realized what was happening. And the reason for that becomes clear when you see just how carefully they managed to keep their relationship out of the spotlight. As their connection grew stronger, Maya Hawke and Christian Lee Hutson made a choice that's surprisingly rare in Hollywood. They kept nearly everything about their relationship private. At a time when many celebrity couples share every milestone online, the two did the opposite. There were no constant Instagram posts, no red carpet declarations, and almost no public interviews discussing their romance. For months and even years, fans mostly saw them as collaborators in the music world rather than a couple. Because of that, rumors about their relationship only surfaced occasionally. Some fans began to speculate after noticing the pair spending time together while working on Maya's music projects. Others pointed out that Christian had been closely involved in her creative process. but nothing was ever officially confirmed. That silence only made the mystery deeper. Reports and fan discussions online suggested the relationship may have quietly started around 2023, but even then, the two rarely appeared together in public. When they did attend events, they kept things low-key and avoided turning their personal lives into headlines. For many people watching from the outside, it felt like trying to piece together a puzzle with half the pieces missing. And then in 2025, something happened that made fans suddenly realize the relationship might be much more serious than anyone had assumed. Because a single casual comment during an interview accidentally revealed a detail that neither of them had publicly shared before. For a couple that had kept almost every detail of their relationship private, the moment fans discovered that Maya Hawke and Christian Lee Hutson were engaged didn't come through a glamorous announcement or a carefully planned reveal. Instead, it happened almost by accident. During an interview in 2025, a reporter casually referred to Maya as Christian's fiancée. In most celebrity situations, that kind of moment would immediately be corrected if it wasn't true. But this time, Christian simply responded with a calm, matter-of-fact, "Yeah." That one word instantly set off a wave of speculation online. Fans quickly realized something major had been quietly happening behind the scenes. There had been no engagement photos, no ring reveal, and no public statement confirming the milestone. Yet with that single response, the mystery surrounding their relationship suddenly deepened. For many observers, it was another sign that the couple had no interest in turning their personal life into a media spectacle. While other celebrity engagements often become months of headlines and social media buzz, Maya and Christian appeared perfectly content keeping things simple and private. But even with that subtle confirmation, almost nobody expected what would happen next. Because while fans were still processing the idea that the couple was engaged, the two were already planning something much bigger behind closed doors. And just months later, they would pull off one of the most unexpected celebrity weddings in recent memory. Even after the quiet engagement moment, most fans assumed it might be a long time before Maya Hawke and Christian Lee Hutson actually tied the knot. Celebrity weddings are usually massive productions that take months of planning and publicity. But that's not how this story unfolded. Instead of teasing the event or building anticipation online, the couple moved forward in complete silence. Then suddenly on Valentine's Day, the news broke. They had officially gotten married in New York City. The ceremony was elegant but surprisingly intimate. Maya appeared in a stunning white gown with a flowing veil and a dramatic feathered coat, creating a look that perfectly matched the romantic atmosphere of the day. Christian kept things classic, wearing a black tuxedo paired with a white shirt and a floral boutonniere. Inside the ceremony, the guest list included some very familiar faces. Maya's parents, legendary actors Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke, were there to witness the moment. Several of her co-stars from Stranger Things were also reportedly in attendance, including Natalia Dyer, Joe Keery, Gaten Matarazzo, Caleb McLaughlin, Sadie Sink, and Finn Wolfhard. For fans, the biggest shock wasn't just the wedding itself. It was how suddenly the news arrived. One day the couple was quietly living their lives, and the next day they were officially husband and wife. And while the internet was still processing the surprise ceremony, Maya herself soon stepped forward to share something fans had been waiting to hear. Her very first thoughts about married life. After the surprise wedding, fans were eager to hear directly from Maya Hawke herself. For weeks, the newlywed couple stayed relatively quiet, leaving the internet buzzing with curiosity about how the actress was adjusting to married life with Christian Lee Hutson. Then, not long after the ceremony, Maya finally shared her first public comments while attending the premiere of her new film Wishful Thinking. And according to her, the first weeks of marriage have been nothing short of incredible. Speaking to reporters, Maya said she feels very, very lucky, and described herself as incredibly happy right now. She also expressed deep gratitude for the life she's building with Christian, making it clear that the quiet love story fans had only recently discovered was already incredibly meaningful to her. In another interview moment, she opened up even more about their relationship, explaining that she feels fortunate to have found someone who is not only her partner but also her best friend, someone she can talk to about absolutely anything. For fans who had only seen glimpses of their relationship before the wedding, these comments gave a rare look into what their life together actually looks like. But the real reason their connection seems so strong might have less to do with Hollywood romance, and more to do with how their relationship was built in the first place. Because long before the wedding, the spotlight, and the headlines, their bond was shaped by something deeply personal: their shared love of music and creativity. One of the biggest reasons fans believe the relationship between Maya Hawke and Christian Lee Hutson works so well comes down to something deeper than romance: their shared creativity. Before they were ever publicly known as a couple, the two were already collaborating closely in music. While Maya gained global recognition for her acting role in Stranger Things, she has also been quietly building a reputation as a serious singer-songwriter. Christian, on the other hand, had already established himself in the indie music world as a respected songwriter and producer. When Maya began developing her album Chaos Angel, Christian became one of the key people helping shape the project. They spent long hours writing lyrics, refining melodies, and exploring emotional themes through music. And according to Maya, that creative process made their connection even more meaningful. In past interviews, she explained how powerful it felt to work on songs with someone she was slowly falling in love with. Even more interesting, she mentioned that Christian helped her write music about moments from her past relationships, something that might seem uncomfortable for many couples, but for them became part of their creative honesty. That level of openness created a kind of trust that's rare, especially in relationships constantly surrounded by fame and public attention. Instead of building their romance in front of cameras or headlines, they built it in recording studios, writing sessions, and long creative conversations. And that may be exactly why their story feels so different from the typical Hollywood love story. Because in an industry where relationships often play out publicly from day one, Maya and Christian did something almost unheard of. They built their entire relationship quietly before the world even realized what was happening. And now that fans finally know the story behind their unexpected wedding, many are starting to see their relationship in a completely new light.